What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy 4th of July. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. We're back at it on the car. So, last couple days, I have been working on some interior stuff. Mainly the door panels. And we've got one pretty much wrapped up. I will preface this video by saying I am most definitely not a professional upholsterer. This is more or less first time doing it like this, so bear with me. It is definitely not perfect. The first panel I'm relatively happy with. There's some minor things here and there I probably should have done a little differently, but it honestly didn't turn out too bad. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. How I decided to do it was I have 1/4 inch sanded plywood, and I traced the pattern I need onto the plywood here. I cut it out. We have the saw set up out there, so this is for the passenger side. So we're gonna cut this out. We have some holes to drill, one for the speaker, one for the window switch there. And then we are using some black marine grade vinyl, and you can see it's fairly soft here. I got some foam off of Amazon, and then used spray adhesive to glue the stuff together. And there's obviously a lot of different ways to do this, but I'm relatively happy with the design of this. So I got the first one pretty well figured out, hopefully at least. So I figured I'm going to show you the process for the passenger side. Alright, so we got the hole for the speaker trimmed out, the hole for the window switch, and the 2 holes for the armrest. So now what I'm doing is making this is essentially the center of it, but we're marking an inch border all the way along there around this board. So if we transfer this to another board, we cut an inch outside there, and then we cut that center section out, and we're left with a 1 inch thick trim around the outside. Alright, so we've got our trim piece all cut out. And I did make a slight mistake on this one. I made the borders a little too narrow. I made them an inch wide, where on the first door panel I made them 1.5 inches. So it does not quite reach all the way out to the edges. But I think we're still going to run with it, and we're just going to leave a little border along the outside. So now what we're going to do is, I've got some more foam. And it is a 1/2 inch thick, which, if I was doing this again, I would probably get something a little bit thinner, maybe 1/4 inch. It makes it a little bit puffy, I guess you could say. But we're still going to use it. So we're going to lay our pattern onto the foam, get it marked, get it cut out, and then glue it on. Alright, so we've got our foam cut out, and we left this a little bit bigger than what our holes are. And then I used the foam that we cut out, transferred it over to wood. So this is going to be the shape of the bezel where the speaker is behind. We have metal, expanded metal that'll go behind this, and then also fabric that goes over that to hide the speaker. And then we have obviously the window switch. So now we're going to get this cut out, and then we're going to get the foam glued to the board, and then work on wrapping this piece in vinyl. Alright, we are using 3M Super 77. So we are going to get both sides of this sprayed. then we're gonna let this get tacky and then stick our foam on. Alright, so as you saw, we got the vinyl glued on, and we got the edges folded over. I added some staples around the corners to hold the pieces in place, and then I went around and did the speaker hole and the window switch hole. What I found worked pretty good here is simply snipping the pieces, just staying a little bit away from the edge, and then just do multiple cuts. You can fold them over, and then from the outside you don't see anything. So I added some staples there as well. So it came out pretty decent. I am doing it a little bit different than the first panel that I did, so we'll see if I like it better or not. You can kind of see the indentation here where the and that'll fit there. And that'll fit in there like that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to wrap this piece in vinyl, and on the first panel I wrapped this piece in foam. However, I don't think I'm going to in this case, and the reason being is on the first panel I've noticed that when I shut the door, it's actually close enough where the inside of the car compresses the foam and makes it just a little bit harder to close. So I think I'm going to skip the foam on this piece and just wrap the vinyl straight over this. And then we've got this material that I'm going to put underneath this trim, and then we're going to use, I think I've got another piece, this expanded metal like this, the speaker cover, and then put that fabric over there. Make it a little more stealthy. So, yep, let's get to wrapping. Alright, so we got this piece wrapped as well. It's definitely a bit of a pain, especially around these tight little corners. So then I got the piece of expanded metal cut and also the speaker fabric. So how this is going to go is that goes on first, actually like this, or maybe the other way. Anyway, like that. And then just like that. Then it'll be just like that on the other side. Alright, so we got this piece done. We got it fastened in place. I still want to pull the switch apart and paint the bezel black. So then I also wrapped the trim piece. So it goes right in there about like that. So yeah, turning out pretty good. So I'm going to use a combination of both glue and probably some screws to fasten this bezel to the door panel. Alright, so now that we've got the door panel pretty well finished up, we have a matter of attaching it. So, different ways that you could do this. I actually had bought some strong magnets to do that, but I think for now at least I'm just going to use some 1/4 inch screws to keep it on. And the reason being is, if you can tell on camera or not, the door has a curve to it, so it's not real flat. So what I think I'm going to do, at least for now, I put a couple of 1/4 by 20 riv nuts, one there, and then I also put one at the bottom. And so at least for now, I'm just going to use 1/4 inch screws and bolt it on, and then the armrest bolts right in there. So I think with all that, that should hold it fairly sturdy. I have just some regular 1/4 by 20 screws, so I'll find some nice button head ones or something like that to dress it up. But for now, it'll hold it on. Alright, yesterday I ran to my local hardware store and I picked up some more permanent bolts. So I decided to do something a little different, and I think it's going to work good. So, if you can see here, and there are my screws for the door panel. So I talked about getting some button head screws, but I decided to try something different. And I found, if I can actually get them out of the bag, they're called elevator screws, and it's just a flat top like that. And so not a really good way to tighten them if you needed to tighten them really tight. However, I was able to tighten them enough by hand where it holds the door panel just totally fine. And then it's real nice and low profile. So I'm happy with how those turned out. So you can see this with the door panel on there. And obviously now you can tell the green does not look good at all. So I am going to pull this panel off, and we're going to do the same thing that we did over there. I am going to run this down to my brother's shop. We are going to sandblast this panel, and then we are going to prime and paint it black, and that's going to make it look a lot better, I think. We have part of the here is the armrest that bolts in here like that, and you can tell we're going to paint this as well. And then we are going to this one, the foam was missing, so we're going to put new foam in it and then recover it in the same black vinyl that we did here as well. I'm not sure how quick we'll do this, probably not in this video, but at some point we'll get this done. The interior of the car is kind of pulled apart again. I've been working on tracking down a water leak whenever it rains, so right in the middle of that as well. So yep, let's go get this sandblasted. All right, I'm finally wrapping up the front door panels. Hopefully we're about done with this. So I got the panels here sandblasted, primed, and painted. As you saw, I've got the panel back off. One, because something went wrong in the power windows. Again, something broke, so we'll have to figure that out. However, I have the panel back off, and I see, and the edges of the panel are not staying glued down. So I'm suspecting maybe the Super 77 adhesive that I used was maybe not the greatest stuff to use for this. I'm not sure if it's because of heat that's causing it to come apart. But yeah, it's not staying attached very well. So I'm going to put, I have short staples. I'm going to staple these edges down. So if any of you guys have some experience with upholstery and can suggest maybe a better adhesive that I should have been using for this, let me know. So, but I think I'm going to wrap it up on this episode. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.